Morning.
What's occupied your thoughts most this week in relation to the recent run and the reasons for that?
I think the most important thing is the shock of the Swansea game, in terms of the manner of it, is to get the players on an even keel, to have the balance right between defending situations that we should do and focusing on them, and not getting overly kind of tense about it. And there's a lot of frustration in the group because they want to put it right. Our fans travel to Burnley and Swansea in games we should have won and had opportunities to win. We want to pay them back.
How do you reflect on Swansea, the desire to defend better and the need to defend better? You mentioned in the build-up to that game.
Yeah, I think there's a responsibility on everybody in the whole squad to defend certain situations. We were slightly unfortunate at Swansea that we put a complete offensive team on to get back from a situation, and then had ourselves the lead, and perhaps a bit of naivety in that group, not used to that situation. So we've worked a little bit on training this week with the whole group, understanding to see a game out. We have a lot of experience in the squad of situations like this. We've had players who have been at this club, like Delaney and Scott Dan, who know what the fight's needed. So there's good guidance to the other group, to the rest of the group. My experience is that our form and the way we've played doesn't really reflect where we are, but unfortunately the results are everything, and we must get a result by hook or by crook. And I think that's the sense I get from the training ground as well, that kind of determination to get something this weekend.
You say you must get a result. What solutions do you have? Have you tried anything different in terms of preparation?
Yeah, we've changed some situations that we do. We've worked a lot harder on our low block this week, where teams get us into defensive situations, to make sure that we're going over everything that we can possibly do. But as I say, there is a balance, and we got to get that balance right. I don't want my team to just sit back on Saturday and invite Southampton onto us. I think that's going to be okay. Our fans deserve better than that. So we've got to be resolute, stick to the style that we play, but just defend that last third, and particularly set plays in a more resolute manner.
Would you consider a change of system?
Well, a change system is, I think, always something that's dangerous. I don't think in my career there's been many times that I've changed my back four, so I don't see that changing this weekend.
What about a defensive coach? Is there any need for another one? Would you consider bringing in a defensive coach?
Well, my teams over the years never really, most of the games I lose by one goal. So I've never really had this problem at set plays before. So that's something that we're looking at, going over it. I have good coaches here, in fact, very good coaches here. And I'm sure we can get to the bottom of it. But of course, it's like anything. Sometimes a confidence plays a part. And I think our players are focusing a little bit too much on the responsibility and not taking their instinct into account, which happens. You know, if you're marking a certain player, you're so diligent about marking them that you don't go and attack the ball. And I think there's a little bit of that. So we've talked about that. The players have given me good feedback this week. We've done a couple of things that the players wanted to do. So you have to listen to your group. I'm experienced enough to know that.
Can you say what those things are, what the players want?
Well, they wanted to go over set plays particularly, and they wanted to see situations with the whole team defending, and I think that was right. That was exactly the thoughts me and my staff had. And I'm talking about senior players here. It's important that when substitutes come on the pitch, when you have offensive players on the pitch, they all understand their responsibility.
Has there been a need for any sort of open, frank discussions as a group, as the coaching staff, players together?
I think you'd be stupid not to have discussions within everybody, and we've listened to everybody's opinion, and you know, I've got to collate all that and put it into a training program this week, which we've done. And one of the reasons is it was so early today, and I apologise to you for all the traffic, was because we got a bit more work to do today.
What has the chairman said to you this week?
Well, I think that the chairman and the board here have been fantastically supportive. This is a great football club, and they've got great plans for it. This is a crisis at the moment, a kind of mini crisis that we've got to get through. The work we've done, the work they've done, the work they want to do going forward, all bodes well. But we've got to get past this period, and I think he just really wants to see that we're putting the effort on the pitch, which I think we did in every game so far this year, but do it at a level where we can get ourselves a result.
Was there a meeting with the chairman this week, a meeting that was perhaps not normal, out of the ordinary?
Not really, because we always have meetings and we always speak almost every day. So in terms of Steve and myself, that relationship is strong, and you know he wants to help, but it's very difficult for him to help because he obviously can't sign anyone, and but he can add his point of view and his experience and his comfort sometimes.
Have you been told that you have to win this game against Southampton tomorrow?
No, but you know, I'm a realist. I understand the situation with Premier League. I've got to make sure that the next result is a positive one for us. So I think that pressure I will put on myself, as I said last week, it's a situation where I have to get results. That's the position I'm in.
Okay. There have been a lot of reports this week. Just wondering, have you asked for any assurances? Did you get any assurances from the chairman?
No, I answered that question last week, but I'll answer it again. I've only ever asked assurances on one occasion, when Joe Kinnear came in at Newcastle. I know my responsibility. This is a high-profile job. I'm proud of the job. I understand the feelings of our fans, none more so than this football club. And of course, for them, I want to get a result on Saturday, and that's been my only focus this week. I don't look for reassurances going forward. I don't want anything else. I just want to get a result this weekend.
Mark, if you can
just one more. Just finally, are you pressing ahead with transfer plans for January?
Yeah, we've got a couple of problems in the squad. Obviously, Connor's injury, which was a massive blow to us last week, is something that we want to have a look at, because it leaves us a bit short in the striking area. Thank you.
Alan, you mentioned the word pressure just then. You've been in the game a long time as a manager. Does that help you when you have this sort of situation, mini crisis, call it what you will?
Well, I think it's important for that I set the agenda for the team, because if I look pressurised and I act pressurised in a way that's going to destabilise the group, then I'll be making a major error. I am used to this situation. I've been in it before. The clubs I've been at, I don't know, their rough percentage is about 35 to sort of 38% wins. So you lose a lot of games in the games I've been at. So I understand, but when you get into this situation, which is unusual, to lose this kind of run, I just know that I have to be resolute and strong for my group, and that's what I'll be. And I'd like to think that they've not seen any weakness from me, and I have no weakness because I feel confident in them. I think they have an honest group of players. Okay, so we've lost a bit of confidence at set plays. We've made some mistakes, some big mistakes. It can happen, but we've got to stop that now and try and get ourselves a win however it comes.
I spoke to Christian Benteke yesterday, and he said that the players feel that they owe you because you've protected them and sort of looked after them. You probably expect that, but it must be nice to hear that sort of coming from him. Yeah,
because I think a lot of modern Premiership football, a lot of these players are like chief executives of their own companies. They're big institutions in themselves, and Christian is one of those. So, you know, they can look out for themselves, and people around them can sort of point them to look after them as an individual. But, you know, it is a team game, and obviously we're all part of the team. I don't think Christian needs to look after me. We need to look after the fans, because our fans have suffered. And without sounding, you know, like I'm trying to win fans here, I'm not. I want us to get a result, and people will leave this stadium in a much happier frame of mind than they did leaving Swansea last weekend.
Looking at Southampton, one of the positives for you has been going forwards. You look really dangerous and fifth highest scorers in the Premier League, but Southampton have got one of the most miserly defences in the league this season.
Yeah, they have a little bit of form, and I have to say the manager there has done a really good job. It's a great club. I've obviously managed there. Their performance against Arsenal was very, very strong, which obviously we watched. I think their defence is their strength, and one or two of them I know because they've worked with them. The goalkeeper and Jose, of course, who used to be here, who I signed at Southampton. So they have got a strong defence. But as you say, we are scoring goals, and that is the one thing that we can lean on. If we can tighten up those situations at the back, get some confidence from a clean sheet, we're always going to score goals, this team. And that's unusual for a team to score that many goals that we've scored, to be in the position it's in.
Another quick word about Southampton. They've done it yet again, lost the manager, lost some key players, but seem to have unearthed another good boss and some more good young players.
Well, the one beauty you have as a manager there, and I had it when I was there, is that you've got young players knocking on the door. I had Lallana and a couple of others. Shaw was sort of just bursting onto the scene a little bit then. Fantastic group for a manager to be able to have that quality of player coming through. And they've consistently done that, and it is a benchmark for academies. It's something, of course, that they've had for a long, long time, and it's something we need to improve at this football club, and something the board and myself have looked at to try and improve.
Just finally, you mentioned Connor, obviously a big blow, and so unlucky with injuries. What's your take on Pat Swarrick? Because there were some stories last night where he's apparently said he fears that he might not be able to play football again.
Well, the injury he's had, of course, is just so unique to football. We're kind of trying to find situations where this injury has been in the game, and there isn't many. So we really are in the unknown in terms of the recovery of it. But he's a great spirit about him. He's honest. The stuff he put out last night is typical Papa. But we love him, and we're obviously going to do everything we can to get him back as soon as we can.
Thanks.
Thank you. Pete?
The players looked pretty decimated last Saturday after what happened at Swansea, the effort they put in to get back into the game and to be leading towards the end. Going into this match tomorrow, how do you set about restoring any form of confidence? Because they're in this run of losing games, so they must be pretty low and well aware that if they don't score first, they've got to sort of limit something remarkable to get back into the game.
Yeah, but I think you see that in periods at Swansea. Remember, we went into that game on the back of 5 defeats or whatever it was. The spirit is strong in the group. We know we can get back into games, but we don't want to go behind. We don't want a team to score against us. So, our confidence in defending is obviously the area we have to improve, and that's what we're focused on this week. And I think I don't worry too much that this team has lost complete confidence on the ball, because I don't think it has, and I think we'll show that on Saturday. But of course, defensively, there are areas that we must improve this weekend.
Does it worry you at all about how players would react to what's been in the media the last couple of weeks about your future?
Well, I think most of these players I've signed or re-signed on new contracts, etc., etc. So I have a bond with them. I've been here long enough now for them to understand that I've always and always will support them 100%. So I like to think they're professional enough to just do their job and not really worry about my emotions or about me. They have a duty to this football club, let alone myself. So I expect that. But there are, of course, pressure on us, pressure on their families, pressure on their agents, pressure on everything else to get a result this weekend. But we still got to have the balance right to be able to play. You can't play this game just fighting. It isn't like that. It's not a boxing match. You have to think and have a tactical plan about how you're going to win.
Is it desperate, the situation that you settle for a draw tomorrow?
Well, I've never settled for a draw ever in my career. But you accept a draw. I think that's the difference sometimes. At the end of the game, depending on the flow of the game. If Southampton have equalised in the 85th minute and are pushing, we'll probably look to take a draw, for sure. So it depends on the mood of the game, and we'll have to react from that. Thank you.
Thank you, Giuseppe.
Team news, Steve Mandano recently back.
Steve's is going to have an operation on his knee this week. He hurt his knee in training, so we think he's definitely out for 4 to 6 weeks, I think, with that injury. It's a shame. It's really a tidy up. He's just got a couple of issues in there, and his knee locked up this week. So it's not a difficult operation, but nevertheless, of course, the rehab will take about that time.
How difficult has this week been after the Swansea game, also for the speculation?
Well, I'm strong enough to cope with media speculation and our fans' frustrations. That's enough. That's something I can wear. It's been, very difficult this week to make sure we get the training plan right. Really had to focus on making sure that we're getting the balance right on the training ground, that frustrations don't overspill into something else, that we're channeling our kind of like need to get it right in the right manner. And on that respect, then it's been a hard week because obviously I had to really make sure that we're covering all the bases.
Steve's been very supportive, like you say. Do you want to repay that faith that he's shown to you?
Well, of course, and you want to repay the faith of our fans travelling down to Swansea. I've got to say, that away sport, some of the guys in this room were there. It was amazing. They sung the whole game, and in the position we was in, we didn't really deserve that. So to actually come away with a defeat like we did in that manner was like as painful as it gets in football. That defeat, and I've had a few defeats in my time.
Just finally, Josh and David, are they still fully behind you?
Well, obviously Josh and David are based in New York. I don't really have too much contact, only through Steve. Steve relays the fears of the whole group. We still have a lot of other investors, and of course they're worried. They want us to get a result. It's the business.
Okay, thank you. That's the end of the broadcast section. Thanks.